Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayetu Sarva Vighnopashantaye Agajanana Padmarkam Gajanana Maharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Yegadantam Upasmahe Gnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakrutim Adharam Sarvavidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Krishnam Kamalapatraksham Punyasravanakirtanam Vasudevam Jagadjonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Namostute Vyasa Visala Buddhe Pullaravindayata Patranetra Ena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna Prajwalito Gnanamaya Pradipaha. So we are very lucky that we are able to have the continuation of the study, understanding, and also Parayanam of the most important text of Mahabharata, where there is a focus on the Neeti section of the aspect of human life. Because there are hundreds and Humpty Dumpty number of aspects covered in Mahabharata. And Mahabharata had a growth in 3 stages. One is Jaya, Bharata, and Mahabharata. So Mahabharata now goes beyond 1 lakh slokas and so on. And moreover, any number of characters are there in that. And we have also got in Mahabharata 2 sides. Dharma side, Adharma side. Commitment and breaking the commitment. So these are all the 2 aspects of life have been described here. And we have a big group of people, Duryodhana and his retinue, Dhritarashtra and his... But Dhritarashtra and Pandu, though they are 2 great brothers, but Pandu helped Dhritarashtra in administration, although he had a problem, physical, Panduroga. So Panduroga was just torturing him, but in spite of it, he took the kingship and organizational, administrative assistance, keeping his brother on throne. And he was looking after all that. And so we know the story. So Pandu Raja and his putras, sons are all Dharmaparas. And Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and all of them are Adharma voters. But in fact, we have got a very great number of elder diplomats, politicians, scholars, etc., like Bhishma, Drona, Krupa, Aswathama and Karna, and all these people are there. And they know what is Dharma, but they are not able to obey Dharma. They are just under the foot of Duryodhana, who also knows Dharma. But the percentage of Dharma observance in Dharma in Duryodhana and all that retinue is lower than that of Dharmaraja. You know, it is said that Dharmaraja loved his relations so many, and more so his brother Duryodhana. There was an option in case Duryodhana were to come and take Saranagati, saying that, Anna, I want my land back. Though win the war, but Dharmaraja would be ready to sacrifice the kingship to Duryodhana. But Duryodhana would not do it because he is Atma Abhimani. Therefore, he just hid inside the waters after the entire war. Ranakatha is almost done, but he doesn't want Dharmaraja to sit on the throne. So he hid himself. And then again, so you know the consequences. Unless the king is killed, a second fellow cannot sit, because there cannot be 2 swords in 1 scabbard. Only 1 sword, 1 scabbard, like that. So you have that type of principle, dharma. So Bhudevi is having only 1 husband. That is, whoever rules the land, he will be the lord of her, husband of her. So like that, we have, and then this, because Duryodhana was a Mahabhima, Atmahimani, and Dharmaraja is Atmahimani, they don't demean themselves and go down the standards of Dharma. So because when Dharmaraja chided him at the lake, then Duryodhana, being Atmahimani, came out. And then war ensued and consequences taken. That's why Dharma and Adharma are the most important concepts which will be vying each other. Dharma paras want to sometimes take a deviation in Adharma, and Adharma paras sometimes want to do some Dharma and all that. So we have hundreds of examples in our scriptures, but ultimately Dharma meva jayate na adharmam, satyameva jayate na nrutam. So that is our India motto also. We have got Ashoka 3 pillars where there is a satyameva jayate. So Jayam, the Jaya, or even Mahabharata also has got one more name as Jaya. So the Jaya, that is what for is Jaya? Jaya is for Dharma. So it is Dharma Jaya in Mahabharata established, and the leader or the driver for Dharma Jaya is Krishna. That's why Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Bhartho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhuti Dhruvani Iti Matir Mama. So it is always said that the high conclusive opinion is that wherever there is a good director and a good worker, there will definitely be the success. What is success? Dharma. So what success one can sustain for long, long time, it could be only dharmic success. The adharmic success is always full with the fear. And therefore, now a kind of fear got instilled in Dhritarashtra the moment Sanjaya returned the evening and then chided him for the action, for his swerving the idea. And he said, I would announce the opinion of Dharmaraja only in the open court next morning, but not now, I tell you. So to say that Vidura kept the mind of Dhritarashtra dipped in scorpions, full of this. That's why my head is full of scorpions, and he was having his own fears. What would be the kind of message which Dharmaraja gave, which is going to be public in the open court tomorrow, and I am responsible to take some kind of decision too. So all this was working in the mind, so he could not sleep. He immediately called for Vidura, the minister, and one of the most respected persons among the Kauravas. Why? Because, when Krishna came to Hastinapura for Rayavaram, and he just arranged himself to take food and shelter in the house of Vidura. And not anybody, Duryodhana and everybody were ready to offer him guest worship or Athithi Puja, come to our house as Athithi. But Krishna chose Vidura to be the right person in whose he can dine, he can take his lunch and all that. So that shows that the serenity, dignity, maintenance, practicality, especially, etc., practiced by Vidura. Therefore, Vidura is the only eligible fellow to say Niti Vakyas. Who is eligible to tell Niti? Only those who have got Niti, they will do it. So we have, for example, we have in Sanskrit the Subhashitas. So many Subhashitas are there. And Subhashita Bhandagara is there in Sanskrit and elsewhere. But of all of them, we have got the Bhartrhari. Subhashitam is top priority, and everybody is following that Bhartrhari Subhashitams, because Bhartrhari was a king, emperor. And he experienced all that in life, and ultimately he was the only one person who combined in him Niti, Srungara, and Vairagya. It's very hard for Srungaric people to become Vairagyan. So that's why Bhartara Subhashitas are great. And now in this particular, now let's come to Vidura Neeti. In Vidura Neeti, we are in the 36th chapter and 32nd mantra, sloka, where Vidura is trying to describe all about the behavioral excellence, how people become highly aware, Mahapragnatvam. Mahapragnatvam means to be aware of any and everything, but choose what is congenial, what is positive, what would be promotive, and what would be practical. That is very important. So only that is being taken up, and therefore here he says that dharma, punya karma, shraddha, satkruti. These are the four important concepts in the behavioral practices which Vidura mentioned in 33rd sloka. And in the, so that's, I just read the sloka, Shraddhaya paraya rajan upanitani satkrutim pravruttani mahaprajna dharminam punyakarmanam. So punyakarminam dharminam pravruttani satkrutim upanitani satkrutim paraya shraddhaya. So if at all you want to pick up satkruti, that is sampunyam. Satkruti is punyam, dushkruti is papam. Then mahaprajna, that is the compliment or a vacative or addressal which Vidura does to Dhritarashtra. And the first line you observe Dhritarashtra being called as Rajan, O king. In the second line, he just elevated the expected result or thinking from Dhritarashtra, and therefore he said Mahaprajna. Prajna is aware of the prajna. See, prajna shakti is very important, because unless you are aware of dharma, unless you are aware of these things, you will not be able to be properly eligible to practice or to administer or to educate, etc. Therefore, Dhritarashtra is said to be Mahaprajna. And now I am reading the 34th sloka, whereat I believe we have stopped in the previous session. But anyway, we consider every session of the Vidura Neeti should be independent. And therefore, we are making them as a unit by itself, so that we don't depend upon others. Because we are having these Vidura Neeti sessions continuously. It's a large book, as you know, containing more than 500 slokas. And so it will take a long time. But still, what are the number of aspects that have been covered under the head Neeti? See, Neeti comes from the word Naya and Nyaya. So Nyaya Shastra is Naya and all Neeti. So I'm now reading the next sloka, 34. Sukshmopi bharam nrupate syandano vai shakto vodhum natahanye mahijaha evam yuktaha bharasaha bhavanti mahakulinaha natadhanye manushyaha. Actually, we remember that what is Mahakula is the question put by Dhritarashtra to Vidura. Mahakula ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು explain ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. He says that a sandal tree, O king, though thin, sukshmopi syandanaha, and bharam vodhum shaktaha vai. So a sandal tree is competent to bear weights which other timbers of other trees, may be very much thicker, cannot bear them. So that is to say, the sustainability is important. Among all trees, sandalwood tree is really powerful. It is really expensive. And you know, the it is being sold at very high cost. And you must have realized, if you go to the government emporium in Bangalore or elsewhere, Karnataka, you can realize how valuable it is. Small doll made out of sandalwood will be highly expensive compared to that done with other wood. Therefore, but though it is thin, it is really, it's very strong. Therefore, it is said that high families are always able to bear the weight of great cares, which ordinary men cannot do it. And we have hundreds of examples in our scriptures for example, of this particular kind of enunciation, which Vidura said, that Mahakula is like that. One example is, let us take from the Kalidasa's Abhignana Sakuntalam. Dushyanta Maharaja, he committed to Sakuntala, and he made her also pregnant, and he came back. And when Kanva came to know all these things through his Divya Drushti, that in his absence the marriage has taken place, and Kanva decided to send her to her husband's place. And because of the Durvasa's curse, Dushyanta totally forgot that he had any connection or relationship with Sakuntala. So when she visited, when she came in person to the court along with her two father's Sishyas and introduced that, but then outright he refused her. As Maharaja, he cannot so totally drive away like that. He just requested one of his people to keep her in their house and test if the baby child delivered will have the Chakravarti Lakshanas, then he will admit her as something. Arrangement has been done by that Dushyanta Maharaja to keep up his Mahakulinatvam, because Mahakulinatvam is being trusted by Kandva, and so sent his daughter to his yard. But ultimately, when Sakuntala was away, then his mind was not peaceful, and Indra and Maricha Maharshi, they both helped him to get joined with his wife and children. So Mahakulinas are able to withstand the shock, but they cannot forget what they have done. This entire sixth act is a grand example where how much Pipra Yoga or how much Prajagara, which Dushyanta suffered until he got relief with the invitation by Indra. Anyway, that's a different story. That's why Vidura is very correct when he says that Mahakulinas are able to sustain and establish and ultimately work for union of that. So here in this sloka you see, Bharasahaha bhavanti. So people who are very much nobly educated, cultured, those people will be able to bear the shocks. So they will be higher shock absorbers. What do you mean by shock absorber? Means they don't grow angry and unnecessarily get into drastic actions. They will just try to allow time to make the truth get revealed. That's why he said that only Mahakulina, those who belong to Mahakula, they are only able to sustain all that. Now, I think you understood the importance of that particular idea, the contrast drawn between a sandalwood tree timber and the timber of the other trees. There is a lot of difference in that. The reap, that's what reapers they call it. Now 35, 36 I am reciting. Natan mitram yasya kopad bibheti yadva mitram sankitena pacharyam yasmin mitram pitareva visvasati asvasahita tadvai mitram sangatani itarani idi chet api asambandho mitra bhavena vartate sayeva bandhu tan mitram sa gatihi tatparayanam. Beautiful. He talks about after talking about Mahakulinatvam and how will be the friendship among Mahakulinas. That also is a factor to be taken into consideration. So he said that Yasya kopad bibheti na tanmitram. He is no friend whose anger instills fear in other person. So na tanmitram yasya kopad bibheti. Supposing the friend becomes angry, he should not be afraid of the anger, but try to cow down that anger and continue the freedom and make him also better. That's exactly a great good friend. Again, yadva mitram sankitena upacharyam, and who is having that fear, and he on whom one can repose confidence as on a father is a true friend. So friend is a mentor, friend is a guide, friend is a philosopher, etc. So sankitena apacharyam yadva. So if you have doubt, trying to cause some kind of fear or some kind of there is no question of act against or opposite way and immediately take action. You have to have a judicious consideration if at all your friend grows angry. That's what in Ramayana we have got a great guidance how these two friends must be conducting themselves, and they should so conduct themselves that each one should not get hurt with the behavior of the others. Therefore, Sugriva is afraid of Rama. Rama is afraid of Sugriva in a positive manner because they may not hurt each other. So, Kupitam Mitram, if friend is angry, you cannot subsist that. You have to be very careful. That's why another example is Rama and Lakshmana, although they are brothers, but all time Lakshmana is highly emotional. He becomes angry. He wants to take immediate action, and the action that he thinks of is also highly drastic. Good. There are a number of examples between them, but Rama is a good friend of Lakshmana, and Lakshmana is also good understanding of what a friend is like, not brother, friend is like. The moment he saw Bharata's army coming with all the retinue of big army, Lakshmana wanted to go and fight and kill Bharata. That was the decision. With which emotion or decision with which Lakshmana got down from the tree when he observed a huge group of men and women and all that coming there. Then Lakshmana Rama said, no, it's Bharata if it is. He's not coming to kill me. He's coming to meet me. After all, he's a small boy. He requires some kind of solace from me as an elder brother. Something might have happened. So that kind of spirit infusion in him is really very interesting. So, number of examples. That's why it is said that Sankitena upacharyam yadva. Supposing your friend has got some kind of different idea, you should go and try to answer that and see that he understands that he mistook or misunderstood him, and so continue to be a friend. And again, another important feature of a friend is mitre pitara iva swasati yasmin. So friends look upon each other as mutual protectors. Father, Pita is the protector. Mata is the nurse, or she is the nursing. She will give you all nutrients, and so the role of mother and father are very important in building up a wonderful psychology and confidence in the children. So too, between two friends, looking at those two friends, the others get really inspired. And again, even in the negative side also, we have got good friends. Karna and Duryodhana, for example. And again, Bhishma and Duryodhana and Aswathama. All these people They behave like friends only, although they know that they are deviating from the line of dharma. But still, they are mum. In Draupadi Vastrabharanam, nobody opened the mouth except Bhima. You can imagine that. So that's why Mitram Pitaram Viswasati. So as a friend, he will be only protecting the interests and activity of the person like father. Or correct and see that father corrects the baby and sees that the baby becomes orderly. Generally, the other may be disorderly, but that should not be admitted to go further. And again, Mitram Sangatan Itarani. No. So true friend is that. Otherwise, there are friendships and friendship. These days, you have got the Facebook. In the Facebook, there are a number of friends. What is the use of all of that? Thousands of people have got thousands of friends, Facebook friends. Don't know what would be ultimately. But however, Mitram means who is really taking to your support whenever there is a need and remain faithful to each other. That's what is a friendship. Therefore, and Itarani Sangatani na Mitram. Sangatani means friendship. There are hundreds of friends. That's why there is a proverb in our Vedic way that we may have any number of friends and relations, but you must have 4 people as true friends. There is a lot of symbolism in that. Supposing you are done with and you die, then at least 4 people should carry you in stretcher to the Mashana. So because 4 sides, 4 people. It's not vehicle and all that. So that's why they bring a stretcher and carry you to the Mashana. And therefore, you should be always have true 4 friends. Sangata. And whatever number of other friends are there, just friend only, no much. And again, in the next slokam, 36th stanza, he says that Yadi chet api asambandhaha mitra bhavena vartate sayeva bandhu tad mitram sagatihi tatparayanam. Sorry. There are combinations of friendship also. So immediately, there is one more combination of friendship is being talked over by Vidura in this sloka, that he that who comes as a friend by himself voluntarily, although he is not connected to you, though he is not a brother, actually friends, we imagine the brothers are friends to each other. That is the kind of relationship pointed out to us or established to us in Ramayanam and in Vedas. In Veda Sahityam and also in Ramayanam, you are told about the sweetness of relationship. But Mahabharata, it became, that cloth of relationship became torn. And these days, I don't know, everybody knows what is the kind of relations. So that's why, even though the relations are however they are like, but there is a particular right at the 10th day of the man going off or a woman going off, dying, and before they embark upon the Pitruyana or going away, 10th day, all friends and relations, etc., connected to the person would come and give tila tarpana, saying that disowning the individual upon the earth, the relationship, so that it will be the Atma of the dead would be free to start the travel towards that. So 10 days is kept, the pranam is kept live, and on the 10th day, with the permission of all people, Tilodakas, and then the 11th day, 12th day, we all know that. So 11th day is Sapindikaranam, 12th day is Shraddha Karma, and 13th day, Vaikuntha Samaradhanam. So thereby, why I am telling all that is that maybe that you don't know him, not that they should have the blood relationship or anything like that, but if anybody comes volunteers to be a true friend, he is real Gatihi Parayanam Bandhuhu. Look at the words. I mean, these three words are three concepts: Bandhu, Gati, and Parayanam. Who is good friend? A good friend is he taken as a bandhu, as a father, as a protector. And next is he is taken as the goal. Goal means what? Gati means consultant. You ask everything your friend, and on his advice, you try to act. And Parayanam, and whatever your friend advises, that would be final advice for you. And if you obey it, it's good. Even Naroda Prasna, which we are going to have in another 1 hour session on Naroda Prasna, we are all going there. There we get a lot of information about social bondages also, and the Guru Sishya Sambandham, also the eminence of the Surya Bhagavan, and how Surya is the guide. The moment the Surya Bhagavan, Aruna, rises in the east, you know the Vyapara and Vyavahara of the people. Otherwise, they're all sleeping. All activity is suspended. They are at rest. But the moment sun appears, that's why Ujjantam Bhaskaram Drishtva Namaskurya Sudhihi anta ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಮಂತನಾಗಿರುವನು ಸೂರ್ಯ ಭಗವಾನು ಉದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದವಾಗ ಅರುಣ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿರುವಾಗ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಏಷ ದೇವಾನ್ ಸುರಗಣಾನ್ ಪಾತಿ ಗಭಸ್ತಿವಿಹಿ ಏಷ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಚ ವಿಷ್ಣುಶ್ಚ. ಸೊ ಸೂರ್ಯ, ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಭಗವಾನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಿತ್ರ. ಸೊ ದ್ವಾದಶಾದಿತ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿತ್ರ ರವಿ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಭಾನು ಖಗಪೂಷ ಹಿರಣ್ಯ ಗರ್ಭ ಸವಿತ್ರರ್ಕಮರೀಚಿ ಭಾಸ್ಕರೇಭ್ಯಃ ನಮಃ. ಸೊ ಮಿತ್ರ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ವೇ. He is always a mentor, he is always a friend, he is always a refuge, and he is always a protector like father. So imagine how beautifully and that our Vidura is trying to impart the Niti system or Niti science or the moral science into the head of Dhritarashtra, especially at a time when Dhritarashtra's mind is at crossroads, gripped by fear, gripped by suspicion, gripped by so many things. So when mind is not at rest, then there is no other hell than that. That's why mind is the most important friend to all people, because the mind, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the mind is sandwiched between the indriyas and the buddhi. And if mind goes upon the indriyas, buddhi becomes dull. And if the mind goes to buddhi, the indriyas also become regulated, controlled. Therefore, Krishna always tells us, or any acharya, yoga acharya, Mayarpida mano buddhi. So Mayarpida mano buddhi, vratam kuru. So bhakti is that when you deposit your... So that's exactly what is also wanted in a true friend. You cannot play with your friend. You cannot misbehave with your friend. So in Naroda Prasna, there is also a statement that if you deprive the brothers, or if you deprive among your own classmates of the same guru ಬಂಧುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅಪಚಾರ ಆಗಿದರೆ, he is not eligible to listen to the classes and upadesha. So that kind of relationship, social commitment and behavior also is mentioned. Therefore, you should always consider our Veda is not only religious. It is not only a Parayana Grantha or Parayana Samhita. It has got many, many more things to teach us, because we never go to high school or college to learn wicked behavior, but we learn only nice behavior, streamlined behavior. For that only we require siksha. So what you do not have, that asiksha, it becomes asiksha. Asiksha is irregular behavior. That's why Krishna says that ye shastra vidhimutsujya vartante kamakaturaha anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. So shastra vidhiyannu follow ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Shastra means elders also, learned people, gurus, and good friends who are interested in your life and prosperity. With them, you should go with. Therefore, Krishna here, Vidura is telling there are importantly 3 features, and it need not be a blood relation. See, yadi ched api abandhuhu. See, maybe he will be not a friend to you. But how do you decide the bandhutva? That is the relationship. It is not necessarily being sharing the womb of the mother commonly. Sodaraha, samanam budaram yesham te sodaraha and sodaris. So udara vande, but ಆ ತಾಯಿಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ there are so many influences and so many things. So people change. Brother wants to betray other brother and selfishness begins. No, he is not. That's why the brothers born in days, they are all like friends. But when they grow bigger and they develop families, etc., they are all enemies. Dayadayaha. Dayadi means shatrus. So here, in other words, Vidura is giving us definition of a bandhu. Bandhu priti, guru bandhu. But a bandhu sabdakke innondu definition ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita was given. Atmaiva bandhuhu atmanaha natmanam avasadayet. Of all the bandhus available in the world for you, primarily, you are the first friend for yourself. Atmaiva bandhuhu atmanaha. You are the friend for yourself. And therefore, you should not demean yourself by yourself. So have that kind of confidence. So that exactly is, so we understand here, Vidura is a well-read scholar, well-read practical scholar. And therefore, keeping all that background given to us in scriptures, right from Veda or even before, all that Rishi culture, knowledge is being kept in his mind, and his speech is that. That's why we have also one more statement, Yad vacha vadati tat karmana karoti. And another one is Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravi. You understand? That is the Shanti mantra found in the Upanishad for us. So our mind is kept in speech, and our speech is kept in mind. That's why we say in English, hey, you make a mindful talk. Antare. Mindful talk means thought-ridden thought, which is really conforming type. Therefore, here in this particular section, we are given this clue that we are having a bandhu, not one who is a blood relation, but anybody whom you know, whom you do not know earlier, looking at your status, if he volunteers to be your friend, guide, etc., he is your real friend. Sayeva bandhu. And taking this as a clue, we have got in Sanskrit literature, Panchatantra and Hitopadesha. So there we have got Mitra Labha, Mitra Bheda, Kakolukiyam, Parikshita Karita, etc. All these sections will be educating us so much that, say, dullard, the Rajakumaras became highly intelligent with all this, and they became rulers or administrators like that. So, Vidura Neeti is also an important text in the moral science. And why we are able to realize, because behind these Vidura Neeti statements, we have so much of philosophy. And so much of guidance to us. And now I am reading the 37. So, Chalachittasya vai pumsaha vruddhan anupasevitaha pariplavamate matehe nityam adhruvo mitra sangraha. So to make friends also is a very wonderful tactics. And also to make the friends whom you make to help you, to serve you, to follow is also another intelligence. So the list might be big, but in the list, among the friends, you have the priority of choice. So people say, oh, he has not invited me, and he invited my friend. When you say like that, then you understand in the priority list of friends, you are not there. You say only hello, hi, and afterwards bye. So hello, hi, and bye, hundreds of friends are there. But people who say good morning and talk to you and know about you and then tell about them and have some kind of guidance each other, and if at all problems, all these things will happen only to the good friends. Adrinda, so even to make friends also is a great art. But some people who are there cannot have any good friends at all. Again, Chalachittam anatmanam indriyanam vasanugam arthaha samati vartante hamsaha sushke saro yatha. Wonderful example. These two slokas will give us a beautiful comparison, beautiful idea. Not that all people are capable of making friends. And there are people who are jealous. And so they cut their grim face, really, when a friend were to come to your yard. And so what is the best way of making friends is to cut a smile. And so, Smitapurva Vibhashanam, there is no enemy for Rama, but he is friend to all people, Sakha. So, but others are there who try to hate him, Ravana-like people. Even in case of Dharmaraja, he is called as Ajata Shatru. He is friendly with all people, and he has no, by personally, any enemy at all. The other day, just now I told, supposing Duryodhana were to come and ask for Rajyam back, the kingship back, Dharmaraja will be the first person to give back. Likewise, in Ramayana also, if Ravana were to come and seek shelter and say excuse to Rama, and Rama was ready to confirm Lanka Rajya for him. But these things do not happen at all because of their own temperament and growth and the growth that they have been nurturing in them. So what are those features which will make persons not able to gather more friends? Number one, Chalachittasya, in the 37th sloka, we notice Chalachittasya, those people who have got fickle mind, no steady mind, unsteady mind. So secondly, Pumsaha, Vruddhan Anupasevataha, those who do not consult elders, those who do not make service to elders, Guru Seva, Devanam Seva, all these things important. That's why Bhartrihari says, please remember, Seva Dharmaha, Paramagahanaha, Yoginam Apyagamyaha. Beautiful, the Seva Dharma ideyalla, Paramagahanaha, it is very, very deep, very, very difficult. And to unfurl that or untie that, Yoginam Apyagamyaha, even yogis fail to know what is that exactly. So ಈ ಧರ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಧರ್ಮ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಆರ್ ಸೇವಾ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇವన్నీ ಕೂಡ చాలా చాలా ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಆ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ನ ಅನ್ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅರವಿಂದ ಘೋಷ್ writing books on Veda, the first volume written by him will get a question: is there a secret in Veda? The secret of Veda anta baridare first volume. Ali the first sentence he started with was, is there secret in Veda? There is secret in Veda, but our efforts must be there to unravel, to untie that. So it's a big journey. It's a big research, unending research to find out the rahasyas. Even Vishnu Sahasranama also, Bhishma, we require Bhishma to tell us all that. Therefore, Yani Namani Gaunani Vikhyatani Maharshibihi. So Gaunani Namani, what namas are there in Vishnu Sahasranama are Gauna. They are all secret, hidden. But what is hidden is being brought out to light. So, Vruddhan Anupasevitaha. But we have one great person whom we always acknowledge, that is Hanuman. Our Anil Gupta ji is not here, I think so. But Hanuman is one who understood Rama very, very, very well. That's why in the Hanumat Ashtottara Satanamavali, the last name is Rama Paduka Seva Tatparaya Namo Namaha. He knows how to serve Rama, and he has done the job. And again, Pariplavamate Nityam Adhruvaha. And Pariplavamati is that who has got restless disposition. Pariplava means floating, not constant, not fixed. That's why we say floating mass and heltivalva, floating people. So several people are there who visit cities, but they are not residents of the city. They are only visitors. So we describe them as a floating population. And floating people cannot attach themselves to the place where they are moving about. They always remember. Some poet was telling Delhi, most of the people have gathered in Delhi and made the population of Delhi increase. But most of them are not interested in the Delhi at all. But because of the jobs that they have got, due to job interest, they are all staying in that big cities. Supposing they give some holiday, or they apply for vacation or leave, they will not stay in Delhi. Applying leave, they will go back to their villages, their own hometowns. Because Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargata Bigariyasya. However comfort you have got in the job places, you will always remember your own native place, where from you are projected. So that's why Namure Vasi Anavaga, jobs have made that Delhi population sometimes floating population. A jobs illa andre mane hottogtare. Adukoskara, that exactly is called Pariplavam. Pariplavam means not fixed, floating or uncomfortable. So such type of people, they are not able to gather more. And again in the 38th sloka, some more points are given about the friendship. Chalachittam anatmanam indriyanam vasanugam arthaha samatirvartante hamsaha sushkam saroyadha. So he brings a beautiful comparison to a swan. You know, swan is a Rushitulya bird. That's why Hamsa, that is Hamsa is a pure vegetarian bird. And it will not harm anybody at all. It lives upon the lotus stalk that is found in the lotuses, and that is that staple food. And it's always white in color. It will be found in the clean, clear water, etc. Supposing such type of Hamsa were to forsake and were to forsake a tank whose waters have dried up. So if when the water is not there in the lake, they forsake, they give up. So The swan wants the water. That is the support much. So success in the attainment of objects will give up, whose heart will try to go away from such persons whose heart is unsteady, who has no control over his mind and indriyas, who is slave to his senses, and they are all. So such person cannot have more prosperity and success. Therefore, chalachittam anatmanam indriyanam vasanugam arthaha. The word artha is very interesting. You have to mark it with red pen. Because artha is always there, the goal. Artha is the goal. Indriyas have got arthas. So Krishna says, Indriyaha indriyartheshu pravartante. What is our indriyas always move towards the goals of their indriyas. Eye wants to have a beautiful sight. Ear wants to have wonderful sounds, and so on. So all our indriyas or sensory organs, 5 of them, always desire after something. And if at all you were to control them, no, then they will make you unfortunately unhappy. Therefore, what do you do? If you are only indriya interested, the truth and success will not go with you. You will be a failure. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಓದೋದಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೂ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ you will not be comfortable. You know, everybody knows it. If you are prepared with 10 points for a particular answer, if that question were to come, you may remember only 2, 3, 4 points. All the 10 you don't remember. After writing examination notes, you come, oh, I knew all these things, I forgot them. Because the preparation is not firm. Supposing all the time you are very careful, then you all the 10 quickly put down in the answer book and feel so elated at all. Therefore, artha is the goals, success, or the things that you have got to make attainments of objects. All that is possible only when you have got fixity of mind, control of your own behavior, and control of your own indriyas, and then only you will be able to be a successful man. Otherwise, like swans desert the lake in which they were there at one time probably, when the entire water of the lake get dried up, they will not stay there at all. To stay there is the beauty for the lake. To be finding swans and lotuses in the lake is attraction, is greatness. But water is not there, then the things will not be there. That's why Sushka Deha, Sushka Prantam. And again, I just take one more deviation saying that, why are we doing Pitru Tarpana? Why are we feeding Pitru Karya? We're feeding people Tithi, Shraddha yak marta idivi, ನೀರಿನ ತರ್ಪಣ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ತೆಲು ತರ್ಪಣ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬರೀ ನೀರು ತರ್ಪಣ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಸೊ these are not ಪಿತೃ ತರ್ಪಣ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ, they are not simply like that. It is said that the Pitruloka doesn't have any wetness at all, no dampness, dry, sushkam. So they want some kind of dampness, touch of water and all that. Therefore, there are people who make Pitru Tarpana every day, just water. And there are people who do monthly once on Amavasya day. And they are all on Sankramana days. And there are people, or we are expected to do Shraddha Karma per year. Our 1 year is equal to 1 day for them. So you are feeding them, you are giving them water, they are quenching their thirst. And moreover, Pitru Karyas are supposed to be done with wet cloths, not dry cloths. Sushka vastragalinde madabarudu. So you just make your cloth that you are doing Shraddha Karma in wet cloth and do it. Well, all these things will tell you that you will be making the departed fathers more happy, giving them what exactly immediately they want. That's why Pitrutarpana is important. Pitrusraddha is important, at least for 3 generations, unless you die. When you die, your great-grandfather gets liberated, and you will occupy the place of your. So when this Shraddha, this kind of hierarchy observe is a very interesting layout made by our rishis. And therefore, ultimately, comparison is for a Hamsa. Hamsa is a friend. Suppose helpful. That's why Hamso Nama Sadashivaha. Hamsa Hamseti Yo Bruyat. Hamso Nama Sadashivaha. Hamsa Hamsaya Vidmahe Param Hamsaya Dhimahi. Anno Hamsa Prachodayat. So every word employed by Vidura in this Mahabharata sloka is open for good knowledge, good discussion, and good understanding, and good guidance. Therefore, we are all Hamsas. But when we fail to control our mind, our indriyas, and objects for which, attainments for which we have got to work for, then we are just a failure. We'll have more and more regrets in life. And like Hamsa, they desert us. So hundreds of examples are there in our scriptures given. So to say that you have to be a disciplinarian, you have to discipline yourself, you have to understand what are the goals for which you are all born. That's why Shankaracharya also says, Kastvam, Koham, Kutayataha, Tadiha Bhrataha, Chintaha. Oh brother, there are chintas, thoughts. But among all of them, you please spare some time to know who are you, who am I, and where from I have come, etc. These are all the questions to be investigated by our own self. Then only, for that, what is the clue? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So when you make Govinda Bhajana, you will all get all these things. I think we have come to a good understanding of the Mitratvam. And in the next sloka again, the Vidura goes to describe what is strong mind, what is weak mind, what is a floating mind. So there is a kind of, because mind, the Neeti is always referring to the mind status. Vang me manasi pratisthita, mano me vachi. So a manassanna control ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, a ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ education ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. That's exactly is called as psychology. So the study of the psycho of man is called psychology. And we have one more branch called anthropology. That is, the study of man is called anthropology. So anthropology and all these sciences are there, which are enormous. And so whatever little saram or from them is there, we have got to gather that. So Vidura Neeti is one department of knowledge where from you are able to cover many aspects which have got to be taken attention by a man born, by a person born, and see that his life will be rewarding, full of awards. So I stop here. Om Swasti. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Sarvam Sri Matrucharanaravindarpanamastu. Om Tat Satu. So we'll just be meeting with a gap of 1 week, and then next we'll start for that. Not next Saturday, the other next Saturday, we meet for the Vidura Neeti session. Thank you. Thank you all of you who listen to this kind of Upadesham from the mouth of Vidura to a rich person. Thank you very much. Sri Ram.